Hello, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My topic is Vladimir Putin, Russia, and U.S. sanctioning Russia. Again, these sanctions, my fellow Americans, are going to be tougher. It's going to affect Putin's cronies. It's going to affect Russia. Hopefully, it's going to affect their economy. Obama's taken Obama is taking bigger steps like getting into the energy, taking away the energy away from Russia, the ability to sell, taking away weapons that Russia buys weapons from. It's going to stop all this nonsense once and for all, hopefully. I'm not a major fan of Obama, but it had been done. It had to be done. One good thing is for Obama is, and I'm not going to criticize him, on this. I'm not actually going to give him a shout out. That Obama did these sanctions and he reached out to our allies. He reached out to the European Union. He reached out to NATO to certify these sanctions and to see what our friends want to do. Unlike George W. Bush, America will not go in alone. If need be by force, our allies will go with us. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope we can come to a understanding with Russia, and I hope Russia gets this. I hope Russia gets the message. Vladimir Putin, to me, is a dictator. We have no need for dictators. My fellow Americans, why can't we have peace? Because you know what? There will never be any peace. Nobody agrees on anything. Even in Washington, you can't get a bill passed if you pleaded. It's always a deal for a deal. I think that Obama did this right decision with Russia by putting tougher sanctions on them. Because you know what? You may say, hey, Mad Dog, Russia's got weapons, or Russia's got nukes. Well, we do too. Okay? But we can't sit around and let other people get destroyed. For instance, look at Flight 17. Look at all those book bags, ladies and gentlemen, that had kids on that flight that died, that perished. Look at 288 or 98. I'm sorry if I'm wrong. If I'm 10 or if I'm wrong out of 10 people, but I'm from Holland. Okay? Did you see that picture where they were coming in caskets? Coming riding through Holland in caskets. Terrible. Australians. people from other countries that believe there was one American. What do you do? Do you just sit around and say, well, that's not our problem? It's a world problem. Russia is becoming a world problem. Vladimir Putin, along with his cronies, okay? I believe Putin works out in the morning, sleeps during the day, and works during the night. He's a judo expert. I'm giving you a little rundown on Mr. Putin. They say that there's a rumor in Russia that he's got a love child. So apparently he's not moral either. But what I'm telling you is, yes, America cannot police the world. We cannot police the world. But you could say, hey, Mad Dog, but if we go after Russia, we are policing the world. No, we're not. This is a humanitarian problem. This is just like what Iraq did to Kuwait going in. Now you got Obama's cronies. That's money's going to be frozen, so they can't pay those Russian militants on the other side, or pro-Russian militants. And once the money runs out, I ain't working for nothing. And I don't think the Russians are going to work for nothing either. By the way, Putin doesn't like going to driving to the Kremlin. Doesn't like that for some reason. But if I was the president, I would say, Mr. Putin, come clean. And I think we should try him in The Hague. Him and his cronies. And the generals. Oh, by the way, former KGB. KGB is just like the FBI, for ones that don't know what the KGB means. But ladies and gentlemen, my fellow Americans, I'm going to sign off right now. And I hope, I pray that Russia gets a signal from President Obama and leaves Ukraine alone, and they go on to their natural lives and live their natural lives. Then we'll get rid of the sanctions, and maybe we can be friends again and end this, what I call a mini Cold War with Russia and the United States of America. One last thing for you World Cup soccer people in Europe. You know, the World Cup is scheduled to be in Russia in 2018. I don't think it should be there. I think the head of the World Cup Soccer Federation should move it somewhere else. Because Russia did not do a good job. Even in the Olympics, they didn't do a good job. They weren't ready. I watched the Olympics. I watched the World Cup in Brazil. Great game. Now I'm into soccer now, but that's besides the point. But you can follow me on Twitter, Mad Dog MADDOGGDAVE. And you can follow me on my YouTube channel, which is MADDD, or excuse me, MADDOGG.DAVE. And I'm looking forward to hearing from you, your comments. It would be much appreciated. And I hope everyone has a good night. God bless you all. Have a safe night. Be safe.